Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars universe seems to be quite expansive, not just with their new comics, books, novels, and video games, but also, let's not forget about their new Star Wars TV shows and films that are currently in the works by Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the new universe is that we have, of course, a lot of new creators coming on board. Besides, focusing on FAVREAU and FILONI, we have other creators joining Lucasfilm to really take on Star Wars that will actually work hand in hand with FAVREAU and FILONI on exactly how the Star Wars universe is going to progress even further. Now, given that there are a lot of things being worked on at the same exact time between John and Dave, they are also making sure that a lot of Star Wars legend is going to be making its way not just into Star Wars TV shows, but also into Star Wars films for the future. Now, with that being said, we already know that Disney CEO Bob Chapek has been a very busy guy and working around the clock to really making things right with the Star Wars fans and really just allowing FAVREAU and FILONI to have full creative power over pretty much every single Star Wars show moving ahead except for Skeleton Crew and the Acolyte series. Now, with that being said, of course, what's even all the more exciting has a lot to do with the big plan to continue the Skywalker saga with episodes 10, 11, and 12. We've been talking about this for a very long time now, and it is finally in development and actually moving along, and of course, actually happening. And we're going to be getting an official announcement sometime at the very end of 2023 into early 2024. Now, what the big plan is that they're going to roll these episodes out as books first, and then eventually portraying those books accurately into the form of movies. Now, with that being said, with both Disney and Lucasfilm currently developing new Star Wars TV shows for the fans, Chapek, the Disney CEO, is also actively involved in continuing the Skywalker saga for the Star Wars fans around the globe, with episodes 10, 11, and 12 that will first be made into books, like I say, followed by an accurate portrayal in the form of a trilogy that they plan to begin production in 2026. Now, everything has been in the process of getting mapped out for the past number of months now, and the books are planned to drop sometime by the end of 2024 that will create the tales of Cade Skywalker and Darth Talon, and also another new Sith Lord under the codename of Call. Now, with FAVREAU and FILONI as well as Lucas involved in the story and the direction of the new episodes, Mark Hamill has already been approached to return as Luke Skywalker in the next couple of years, to return as a Force Ghost of Luke once again, in order to follow something special from the Star Wars Legacy comics, in which Luke's Force Ghost actually visits Cade Skywalker to show him the right path. Now, the overall plan is to take a lot of aspects from Star Wars Legacy comics and throw that into episodes 10 through 12, both for the comics and books that are set to arrive in the next couple of years, and then eventually into the form of movies. Now, let me just pause here quickly for a second. The fact that they approached Mark Hamill already about these extensive plans for really continuing the Skywalker saga, and including him as a Force Ghost, may be a bit of a downer to some people out there. I understand, that a lot of fans want to see Luke alive and well in his older years, I get that. But him coming back as a Force Ghost only makes sense, given that this new trilogy, they are planning to make it based 40 plus years after the events of episode 9. And given that we're going to finally be getting some different take on a Skywalker, this is going to be the oldest Skywalker that we have seen, apart from the old version of Luke in the sequels, and Cade being 40-something years old. So basically, when you look at it this way, there's a lot of things happening in between the new trilogy that's being made and the sequels, and they're also going to be filling in those gaps with new Star Wars TV shows that is going to be labeled as the post-Episode 9 era. Now, here's the thing about all of this, is that everything with Disney and Lucasfilm is that they are really trying to cater to the fans. They want to make sure that new movies are actually going to attract the fandom. Disney finally realizes that the Star Wars films are meant to be events, like big-time events. And I think that they're finally realizing that these small-scale solo movies are just not working out. Hence why Patty Jenkins lost her movie, and hence why also Taika Waititi is now in the process of getting fired and let go from his new Star Wars movie for 2025. Now, moving on ahead from all of this, now, Favreau and Filoni have been convincing Disney executives to keep things somewhat accurate to the legacy comics, but to put a new spin on it all to make it something truly special. Darth Talon and Darth Cawl, K-A-W-L is how it's spelt, is actually said to be, of course, the new two villains in the actual episodes 10 through 12 story, with Cawl being the master and Talon the apprentice. It will be a story of the descendant of the Skywalkers who wants nothing to do with his legend-filled family, and eventually finding his way to taking the Jedi role. Actor Garrett Hedlund of Tron Legacy is still up for the role to play a 40-something-year-old Skywalker as Cade in the upcoming trilogy. The new episodes are also set to feature new secrets and emerging dark side powers that will change how fans view the dark side of the Force, and more to do with the Sith at heart. Now let me just pause here quickly for a second. The thing about this that I think a lot of fans are going to be a little bit skeptical about is whether or not they're going to be able to do this right. Now, I, coming out of episode 9 a couple of years ago, would have said the same exact thing. But where we are today, given that Favreau and Filoni are going to have a lot of creative involvement of the story direction of the new episodes, and also how it's going to be based on the Star Wars Legacy comics somewhat with a new spin on it, I think that this could very well be Disney's Hail Mary. Disney's big last chance to really fulfill the end of the Skywalker saga properly and to kind of just leave things be after that. This is basically their last chance again, and they really want to give it one more shot, and that's exactly what they're doing. There was a time where George Lucas, believe it or not, wanted to actually stretch the Skywalker saga out until episode 12 to kind of, give it that full circle treatment like a clock, 1 hour all the way up to 12. Kind of giving it that approach, and making things go full circle really would make a lot of sense, because the way things that were left off with episode 9 weren't all that great. It really just divided the fans, it divided the community, and they have to fix that, and that's exactly what they are currently in the process of doing. Now, as for Garrett Hedlund, I want to focus on Garrett Hedlund. He is actually already approached for the role of Cade way before the process of developing these new movies, and the books aren't even, out yet, and they're currently being published. They're currently in the process of getting written and made. Garrett Hedlund, I think that he could very well pull off the role of Cade. It would make a lot of sense. He's already affiliated with Disney, so that does make sense as to why they've been in the talks with him. So I would like to hear what you guys have to say about all of this below in the comments, everything ranging from this new character codenamed Darth Cawl, K-A-W-L by the way, and Darth Talon coming into the mix for the new movies. Anyways guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.